I have two sets of breaking news for you guys and girls. The first one will be inflation, which turned out to be 4.2%, double what we should have, so that the Fed can start cutting rates and ease up liquidity. If we don't get liquidity, risk on like Bitcoin and traditional finance will continue to go lower and lower and lower. Inflation at 4.2% is not sustainable. We will likely see continued high inflation because the war in the Middle East is still active. We were hopeful 48 hours ago that peace was going to be made, a deal was going to be made this week. But after ceasefire, we have resulted in new strikes being carried out by almost all parties. The last 24 hours have been very hectic, and President Trump is saying that they will hit Iran again today. Very concerning, very concerning. We will cover everything there is to know for inflation, tomorrow's producer prices data, and more. So stay tuned until the end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you appreciate these daily videos, do me a favor and destroy that like button. Let's see if we can reach 500 likes. If you're not yet subscribed, subscribe for daily content. We make literally videos every single day, over 1,000 videos in 4.5 years. Bear market, bull market, doesn't matter to me. I'm here to give you all the information you need to navigate crypto. With that, let's begin with inflation. Inflation expectation was 4.2. We came to be 4.2%. In the live stream that I have conducted where we went over inflation all together live, I said that if we meet 4.2%, Bitcoin will just most likely consolidate, and then after a few hours, likely see a small dip. We're in this bearish continuation pennant. I'm not taking any new trades. If we fall below the support line of this bearish pennant continuation, then it can get concerning, and the 50s can once again be retested. I'm very concerned about the geopolitics. Wait 2 minutes. Following the inflation recap, we'll get into geo. 4.2%, I think we will continue to rise. I don't understand how third parties like Truflation are saying we're at 1.8%, which is below pre-conflict areas. It makes zero sense. So I don't believe the third parties, and actually I'm going to believe the government. We already have factual proof that 26.7% increases across the board for plane tickets have been reached. And that is a massive impactor of inflation. So I don't believe these third parties. Crude oil is at $90 and we're not reducing. And even if it does reduce, it will take 2 to 3 months before inflation can start correcting again. Core inflation rate that excludes anything energy related is 30% above where it should be. So we can't only blame the war for rising inflation. Electricity is up, transportation is up, clothing, apparel, those things are up. Kevin Warsh, I know that President Trump believes in Kevin Warsh to reduce the rate, but I do not see it happening. It would be completely illogical. There is now a over 70% chance of a rate hike. I'm curious to see his stance. I'm curious to know how Kevin Warsh defers in monetary policy outlook to Jerome Powell, who we have memorized. We know exactly what sort of monetary policy he is comfortable with. We have a couple of ideas from 20 years ago, but we can't make our estimations on data given to us 20 years ago. So in 7 days, this will be very important. If there is an argument that inflation is temporary, completely nonsensical, because core inflation rate also went up on today's result. Markets are pricing in a 25 basis point hike. Next week is the Japanese interest rate announcement. They're seeing it to go up to 1%, which is pre-financial crisis levels. And to dissipate the financial crisis, Japan lowered their interest rates all the way to 0%. That's when Bitcoin rallied. That's when the stock markets rallied. 0% interest rates have been exploited by massive institutions and enterprises. They borrow Japanese yen at ridiculous quantities and they divest in global markets. And that started unwinding once Japan raised their interest rate. And in August, you resulted in a huge drop. August 24, Bitcoin fell from upper 60s to upper 40s, a $20,000 drop. I remember it as if it was yesterday. If Japan continues to raise rates like expected, then not only is America restricting liquidity, then Japan will restrict trillions of dollars of liquidity. In addition to all of that, with SpaceX launching and all IPOs just taking up all the money there is left, I can't be bullish for markets in the short term. It just does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. From a technical perspective, it doesn't make sense. From an economic perspective, it doesn't make sense. And it really doesn't make sense at all when you encounter the geopolitics. Risk is at the close to the highest it's been with military situations over the past few months in Middle East. From my personal analysis and understanding, we had a ceasefire amongst all parties just 2 days ago, but after an Apache helicopter has been shut down by Iran, Iran says that it was not intentional, but America retaliated, and they are continuing their retaliation into today. Iran had retaliated also last night, and it's a vicious cycle of whenever a side retaliates, the other one retaliates too. It's never ending. President Trump says they should sign the deal, and I don't know what they're doing. The fact that the president is ambiguous and uncertain means that the entire world should be uncertain. And risk on is not just a place to be bullish for in uncertain markets. And with the bearish pennant, yeah, I'm just going to be on the sidelines. Maybe we break above. That would be great news. For now, I'm in watch and observe mode. And as soon as there's a lucrative opportunity in my eyes, I will share that with you ASAP on either this YouTube channel, Twitter, or on the Crypto Kids community in Telegram. If you're looking for a place to be trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, make sure to check out the links in the description down below to our partners and sponsors, where you can use them to buy Bitcoin and crypto for the first time in spot and not leverage, of course. That's at least, I'm not buying with leverage yet. I'm only buying spot. It's two different things. When you buy with leverage, you are using borrowed money, where if Bitcoin or the crypto asset that you decide to trade loses a particular level, you can liquidate your whole capital. But if you buy spot, theoretically, of course it's not going to happen, but if Bitcoin fell 99% to the downside, you would still have access to the capital, the Bitcoin that you've bought, just with 99% less value. Leverage doesn't work that way. Bitcoin is trading at a place where you only trade below for 1% of the time in history. I think it's a fantastic spot buying price, but to open levered trades, I need to see Bitcoin break above the 200 daily moving average, and that will confirm the ending of the bear and the beginning of the bull. Guys and girls, please stay safe. Hopefully, I'm praying to God that these military actions and escalations are halted immediately, and we can go back to how life was pre-March and pre-February. I had told you that I was removing all of my capital from DeFi products and tokens and coins. I'm still keeping them away. We got the new Claude launching. It's very powerful, very, very powerful, very expensive, $40 an hour. We're yet to see any hacks, thank God. But I'm still just being precautionary and not keeping anything in DeFi. Thank you. With that, guys, I'll see you on the next update soon. Bye-bye.